Howdy, folks. Bagger here. I got a little surprise in the mail today. I guess somebody made a mistake on their shipping. Not really sure yet. I'm not going to name any names so that nobody gets in trouble. But I got this in the mail today. Zendikar Rising. It's a few days early. We're going to go ahead and crack it open and see what we get. So I'm pretty excited for this set. I actually built a Grixis rogue deck for Commander not too long ago. I like that. It's a little addition they added to, I guess, try to keep the box topper from sliding around and getting bent like they have done in the past. So that's pretty cool. We will see what we get. But yeah, before Zendikar Rising even got spoiled, I had built a online a Grixis rogue deck, and pretty excited to play it. The reason I built it online right now is because it the commander is Gwendolyn de Courcy, which, if you don't know what that card is, it's from Legends, and pretty expensive in paper. So, alright, start off with our token. So it looks to be in reverse order, or not. So our token, then our land. Then we got Zagras, Thief of Heartbeats. That's pretty cool. That's definitely going in my Grixis Rogue deck. Gives all my other creatures Death Touch. And not just Death Touch for creatures, but Death Touch for Planeswalkers as well. So that's pretty sweet. Cost one less for the number of creatures in your party. Not really all that applicable for my rogue deck, but we got a Black Bloom Rogue, which is also the Black Bloom Bog. So that's my first uncommon, my first flip land, or yeah, flip dual-faced, modal dual-face card, if you will. Acquisitions Expert for another uncommon, and then the last uncommon, Spoils of Adventure. Another party card, gain 3, draw 3 for 6, could be as low as 2. So we're going to quickly go through the commons. Shell Shield, Mind Drain, Venture Awaits, Cliffhaven Sellsword, Scorch Rider, Nissa's Zendikar, Expedition Champion, Deliberate, and a I guess that's the alt art for the landfall cards. Looks pretty interesting. I like it. I think that's the same art border style framing that they're doing for the next secret lair that comes out. So it's interesting that in Zendikar Rising it's just for the landfall cards, but then in the secret lair there's a couple of cards in there that don't have landfall but have the border. But I really like it, especially with the different arts that are on those cards. They really pop, so that's pretty cool. Alright, we're going to go to a second pack, and I guess I'll reveal from the back now, now that we know the order of the cards. So, we'll see how that goes. So, first common, Tormenting Voice. Then we got a Deadly Alliance. Sorry, I'm trying to look at one screen while doing this. Cleric of Chill Depths. Marasa Brute. Kabira Outrider. Strength of Solidarity. Mesa Lynx. Anti-Cognition. Oblivion's Hunger, Synchronized Spellcraft, and our first uncommon is a Ruin Crab with the alternate art. That's the kind of similar to the Hedron Crab, except it's each opponent, you can't target yourself. But if you're just doing straight mill, that's pretty good, especially for Commander. But if you're trying to do some kind of graveyard shenanigans with yourself, you can't self mill. So I have friends that are sad about it, and I have friends that are excited about it, depending on what they want to do. So we got a Moss Pit Skeleton. We got another uncommon land. So this one is the back side, and then the front side. And then this should be our rare. We've got a Shatter Skull Charger. It's got kicker, trample, haste. If it was kicked, it enters with a +1/+1 counter on it, so it becomes a 5/3, and then at the beginning of your end step, if it doesn't have a counter on it, return it to your hand. So it's kind of like, was it Dash that does the same thing? And then a Full Art Plains with a Illusion token. Alright, we got a couple of those out of the way, so we're just going to open up the rare side and see what we get, and then just kind of skim through the rest of the cards. So there's the dual face token that you can put in your deck, kind of like the checklist cards they used to have, and so this is what you can use. Although I don't know how many people are going to be playing in paper at the moment, so we'll see how useful that actually becomes. Now for the rare, we've got Throne of McKindy. Tap for colorless, pay 1 and tap, put a charge counter on it. Tap, remove a charge counter, add 2 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to cast kick spells. Alright. Seems like a decent card for kicker deck. Don't really know yet. I know a lot of people like kicker. I've never really played with it. So we'll see. We got another Kabira Takedown. Deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature or planeswalker, or comes in as a tapped plains minus the plains type. So tap land for white. Shatter Skull Minotaur and a Ravager's Mace. Man, I'm sorry, that's out of focus. When it enters battlefield, attached to a creature you control, gets +1/+0 for each creature in your party and has menace. So I like these for the ETB. They just auto attach. Kind of helps alleviate the fact that the equip cost is so high at first. So that's pretty cool, especially if you have like a creature that has hexproof already, or shroud, or some not shroud but hexproof, and it makes it harder to kill that creature, and then you don't have to worry about equipping so much anymore. So that's pretty cool. Now we'll go through the commons. So far we've got one alternate art frame per pack. One was a common. The other one, I believe, was the uncommon, or I'm totally mistaken altogether. I don't remember now. It's been like a couple of minutes. So we got, alright, something telling us to play Arena. Alright, first foil, it's an uncommon, Demon's Disciple. And it's hard to see the foiling. There's a little bit of it. It's an uncommon. When Demon's Disciple enters battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. And it's a 3/1. So that's pretty cool. So that was the first foil. First rare of the pack. When it enters, attached to a creature, attack creature gets +2/+2 flying and first strike. That's pretty cool. Bayeen Veil. It's the back side. No, I'm sorry, that's the front side. So it's an instant target opponent. Target creatures your opponent control get -2/-0. Not target a creature. And the back side's the tap land, taps for blue. So that's not bad. Concerted Defense. And last uncommon, Marasa Root Grazer. So we got Blood Price, Ghastly, Gloom Hunter, Ardent Electromancer, Tazim Raptor, Jiraga Visionary, Pressure Point, Pyroclastic Hellion, Canopy, Bailoff, and Into the Royal. So, no alternate art card in that one, but we did get the foil. So that's pretty cool. I am pretty excited to see what I get for the box topper. It's pretty cool to get one of the fetch lands. But really, pretty much anything but the, the man lands I'll be excited about. So, we got another forest. So we got a rare, one of the rare flip lands. So it's enters untapped and it's red or green. Alright, I like that. Skyclave Geopede, Lithoform Blight, and a Roiling Regrowth. We'll go through the commons pretty quick. Seagate Colossus, Tazim Royal Mage, Tajura Blightblade, Core Celebrant, Guldra's Mucklord, Teeter Peak Ambusher, it's just an interesting name, Rabid Bite, and a Chilling Trap. I'm kind of sad that it's a trap card that doesn't cost nothing. Still got to pay mana for it, and it's a trap card. But at least it's not a rare or mythic or whatever it was in Double Masters. They made the Ravenous Trap. Alright. I haven't paid attention to see if I got a flip card for every one of these tokens. We got a forest. We got another foil. It's the Grotag Bug Catcher. It's a common 1/2 warrior goblin for 2 mana. Trample. When it attacks, it gets +1/0/0, +1/+0 until end of turn for each creature in your party. Then our rare. I really like this art. I think Miss Wiley Beckert is one of my new favorite artists. If you watched my previous video and you can see this video, I like Seth McKinnon a lot. And Wiley, she's got it going on. I like this art. Pretty much all the cards I've seen of hers. I think there's only a couple, 3 maybe or 4, but I really like them all. So what does this do? It's 3 mana instant. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest CMC among creatures or planeswalkers they control. I like this. It's an edict effect, but the fact that it's instant speed, so you can cast it in response to them casting something else if you would rather whatever's already on the battlefield die or whatnot. So I really like it. It's a little high price, but I really like it. So we did have the checklist card, and we do have the flip card. So we got the Akum Warrior, uncommon, 4/5 Trampler for 6, or the tap land that taps for red. So paired Tactician and a Merfolk Falconer for uncommons. Then we got Synchronized Spellcraft again, Drana's Silencer, Seagate Banneret, Gnarled Colony, Angel Heart Protector, Skyclave Sentinel. That one seems interesting as well. I know it's common. It only costs 3, or you can pay 7, and it'll come in as a 4/5. And then as long as it has a +1/+1, it comes in, or it can attack as if it didn't have Defender. So basically you get a 4/5 for 7. Maybe this isn't the card I thought it was. There's another card that's got a kicker that seems pretty decent. So we'll see. See what we get. Man, these packs do not want to open for me. Alright. There we go. Sorry if this video takes a little longer. This is probably one of the first videos you'll see of this. And there we go. Shatter Skull Smashing, our first mythic, and it's the mythic flip land. So two red, red X. Shatter Skull Smashing deals X damage divided as you choose among up to 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers. If X is 6 or more, it deals twice X damage as you choose among them instead. This card seems really good. Because it's the mythic version, it can enter tapped, or you can pay 3 life and have it come in untapped. So if you really need the mana, I think these mythic lands are going to be sleepers. I know a lot of people are like, oh, but they come in tapped. Well, this one doesn't come in tapped, and necessarily, and it's got a pretty good. You know, everybody's talking about, oh, I wish it hit players, but you know what? It's still a pretty good spell. There's a lot of creatures out there that just need to go away. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the caveat if they die, then they get exiled. But can't have everything on a card. You gotta make it a little bit fair for everybody. Disenchant makes its way back. All right. So what do you guys think of this set so far? I'm pretty excited. I mostly play Commander. I rarely play Standard. I've tried playing a little bit on Arena. I just don't have a whole lot of time to grind, and I don't really want to spend a whole lot of money on Arena to try to get cards that I need. So it's slow going, so we'll see what happens. But I do like Historic. I just don't have enough wild cards to get into that format easily, and I don't have enough time to grind. So we got a Swarm Shambler. It's 1 green mana, so it's a CMC 1. 0/0 Fungus Beast enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. When a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it becomes target of a spell an opponent controls, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. And then you can pay 1 and tap to put another +1/+1 counter on himself. So he can grow himself, he grows other creatures. Seems like if you're in the right deck, it could be worthwhile. We've got a McKindy Stampede. It's the one of the uncommon modal cards. Creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn, and then the tapped white mana. Fireblade Charger and an Iridescent Horn Beetle. Then we got Vanquish the Weak, Stonework Pack Beast, Malakir Blood Priest, Kazandu Stomper, Firesight Adept, Scavenge Blade, Cleansing Wildfire, Into the Royal, Nahiri's Binding, and a Molten Blast. I remember the card I was thinking about with the kicker that seemed really good, especially for Commander, is the 3 mana rock that you can kick to make 2 copies of it. And the copies come in tapped, but they're all indestructible, and it basically gives you, and it taps for mana of any color. So it's basically like having 3 Darksteel ingots. A little pricey, but in the right deck, like say Brutaclad, who likes having tokens, seems pretty good. So we got a foil here, that not free trap, the Chilling Trap. Ooh, and we got a mythic. We got a Nissa of Shadowed Boughs. Uh, green, black, and 2 generic. For the 4 loyalty, landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, put a loyalty counter on Nissa of Shadowed Boughs. Her +1 is untap target land you control. You may have it become a 3/3 elemental creature with haste and menace until end of turn. It's still a land. And then the -5 is you may put a creature card with converted mana cost less than or equal to number of lands you control onto the battlefield from your hand or graveyard with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. I know that's pretty. There we go. It's a little better. Pretty out of focus. I apologize. I'm still new to this game. The game of recording / streaming. In fact, I haven't even streamed yet, so that's coming. But that's pretty sweet mythic. I'm excited about that. We got a Colony Ambush for an uncommon. Roost of Drakes, which I've seen some Drake tokens, so that's pretty cool. A Myria Captain, and then we go to our commons. Blood Beckoning, Anti-Cognition, Scale the Heights, Tazim Raptor, Resolute Strike, Tajura Blight Blade, Risen Riptide. Oh, we got another alternate art frame for McKindy Ox with the landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, tap target creature and opponent controls. And it's 4/4 for 5. And a Fissure Wizard. So, pretty cool pack. Pretty cool pack. Alright, let's try opening from the Terror line. I don't know if it was any better. Definitely faster, but a lot bigger mess. Alright, we got an Insect Token. We got a Swamp. We got an Archon of Emeria. It's a 2/3 flyer for 3 mana. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn, and non-basic lands your opponent's control enter the battlefield tapped. I feel like this is going to be a great card for Commander, especially the Staxy mono white decks, or really any Stax deck that plays white. I feel like this is good. I will probably definitely be playing it in some of my decks, so cool. Ballot Ged Recovery, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Says 3 mana, and then the tapped green source on the back. Skyclave Pickaxe. I like this card. I feel like this could be good for Infect maybe in Modern. Seems pretty decent. It auto equips, gives +2/+2 whenever a land enters. So pretty cool. Base Camp comes in tapped. I wish it didn't. This would be a really cool card if it didn't come in tapped. Add a colorless, or add a mana of any color. Spend it to cast one of the party creatures, so Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, or Wizard, or to activate one of their abilities, party member. So, yeah, that card would be super sweet if it didn't come in tapped. So, Seagate Colossus, Vanquish the Weak, Negates Back, Practiced Tactics, Broken Wings, Dauntless Unity, Utility Knife, Prowling Felidar. It's a 4-drop, 2/3 with Vigilance and Landfall. Whenever land enters battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on them. So, Cat Beast. And a Skyclave Squid. And a Grotag Bug Catcher. I think that's the first foil I got was that guy. This video is going to be a little longer than I was anticipating, but that's also compared to the other box openings I've done have all been collector booster boxes, which only have 12 packs, so I can't complain too much. We got the token, we got an island, and we got another mythic. Seagate Stormcaller. Blue and a generic for a 2/1 human wizard mythic. Kicker for 4 and a blue. When Seagate Stormcaller enters the battlefield, copy the next instant or sorcery spell with converted mana cost 2 or less You cast this turn when you cast it. If it was kicked, copy that spell twice instead. You may choose new targets for the copies. I think this is going to be really good in Commander, any kind of spell slinger deck, really. If it's got blue and it's a spell slinger, this should be going in that deck. I mean, at worst, you get to double opt for 2 mana, and obviously the one for opt, and then you get a free opt on top of that. So seems pretty good, and that's like worst case scenario. So what if the next spell you cast is Fork or Repeated Reverberations? I misspoke that word, but yeah, that seems pretty good. Palaka Predation, 3-drop sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a card with a convert mana cost 3 or greater. That player discards that card. It comes in as the flip side is a tapped black source. So seems decent enough in Commander. Not sure about the other formats, but we'll see. Trying to Silencer, Marauding Blight, Priest, Stonework Pack Beast, Tajura Snarecaster, Resolute Strikes, Laporte Duelist, Dreadworm, Living Tempest, Expedition Champion, and a Prowling Felidar. So, this is the last pack in this third of the box. So, just about, probably not even halfway through this video. We'll see. I might go a little faster. We got another foil. It's common, Deliberate for 2 mana. Scry 2, then draw a card. Seems like a decent card. We got Inscription of Abundance. Kicker for 3. Choose 1. Unless it was kicked, then choose any number. Put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. Target player gains X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures they control. Or target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So, seems pretty good. Saloon Division, blue on the back, blue land, tap land on the back. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant or sorcery card from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So if you had the mana for it, you need 5 mana, but you play that Mythic, the Seagate Stormcaller, and then this, you get to look 12 deep basically and get 2 cards. So it seems pretty good to me. Thundering Spark Mage, and a Core Blade Master. Alright, we're not even going to go through these. I mean, I'll just do this action. We did get another one of those alt art cards. So that's cool. Alright. Yeah, I guess the rest of the commons and stuff, we'll just look through to see if we got any of the alt art or if we see any kind of misprints. We'll see how that goes. We got our token, we got our land, we got a Dauntless Unity foil. It's a common. Then we've got the Confounding Conundrum for 2 mana enchantment. When it enters battlefield, draw a card. Whenever a land enters battlefield under opponent's control, if that player had another land enter the battlefield under the control this turn, they return a land they control to its owner's hand. So I like this card. I don't know how good it's going to be in certain metas. Again, I'm thinking EDH because that's mostly what I play. We'll see if I can start branching out, but seems pretty good unless you happen to have like a Tatiova player who wants to bounce lands back to their hand and has multiple land drops. But yeah, overall, I like the card. We'll see what happens. Sajiri Shelter and the backside. Thwart the Grave. There's another one of Wiley's art. Man, I wish I could get a better picture of that because it looks pretty good. You might have to go look it up online because the artwork is pretty amazing. And then the last uncommon rather, is Cinderclasm. And then we'll go through these. I'm not even going to read them off until I get one of these. The Kazandu Nectar Pot. It's a 1/3 with landfall. When it enters when a land ETBs, you gain a life. It's not the super sweetest card, but depending on the deck, Maybe you're trying to play green-white with the new Angel that, if you have, what is it, 15 more life than your starting life, you win the game or something like that. I'm going to try using that in Commander. Be pretty fun. Like, what? Ooh, I like this. This, although it's a 3-drop, is definitely going into my Garuda deck. Play Garuda Commander deck, and can't hit it with Garuda, but depending on where I'm at in the game, I mean, obviously, it comes in as a tap land on one side, or it's the basically a clone. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature you control, except it's a shapeshifter rogue in addition to its other types. So I really like this card because, like I said, it's either a land or, even though I can't hit it if I draw it, it's cheaper to cast than all the other clones. And I run shuffle effects to, the Eldrazi Titan to put my graveyard back into my library. So even if I don't hit the first, draw it the first time, I might the second or the third or the fourth, whatever happens. So Fearless Fledgling. Overall, I really like that card. So that's the bottom line. All right. Ooh. All right. We got a Canopy Bailoff foil alternate art. It's only a common, but whenever land enters battlefield under your control, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And it's a 4/3 for 4. I like it. Tabarak's Hope's Demise. It's a 2/2 Demon Cleric for 3 mana. It's got flying and has lifelink as long as it has 5 or more +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on it. If that creature was a cleric, you may draw a card. If you do, you lose 1 life. Seems like a interesting card. I feel like it definitely is a pretty good card to put in my Villas deck. Life loss, double draw, because you draw from this, and then you lose a life and draw from Villas. And the potential to gain life again from it afterwards if it sticks around for a while. Song Mad Treachery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste till end of turn. A little pricey at 5 mana, but having the ability to just be a land on the other side is also pretty good. So I'm a fan of these modal lands. I've had a lot of friends brewing some quote no land unquote decks, and some seem interesting, some not necessarily as good as others, but overall I think the potential's there to definitely go down a few lands than what you would normally play by playing those in some of the land slots. Will it pick up in some of the older formats? I don't know, honestly. Maybe the mythic lands, because you have the potential to have them come in untapped. Especially the like a Grixis, or not Grixis, but a Death Shadow deck. Definitely feel like, all right, we got a Tazri, Beacon of Unity for our fourth mythic. 5-drop, 4/6. Costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your party. And then it has the 2 brute manas of blue, black, red, and green. For an activated ability, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 cleric, rogue, warrior, wizard, and or ally cards and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So I feel like this is definitely more of a commander card, commander general, in fact, than anything else. I'm not even sure if it actually replaces the old Tazri as a commander, but it definitely would go in the 99. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't. It's not an ally itself, but it lets you dig and get 2 allies, so that's pretty good. I've played against some pretty crazy ally decks helmed by Tazri, so Pretty cool. Tangled Florahedron, it's either a mana dork for 2 mana or just a land. It comes in tapped. Shadow Stinger, and a Journey into Oblivion. Costs 1 less for your party, and then it exiles target non-land permanent opponent controls until this leaves. So, seems pretty good. Let me go through the commons. So what do you guys think about this set? What are you guys excited for? I already told you guys I'm mostly excited for all the new rogues. I do like the party mechanic. I'm working on a mono white modern deck using the party mechanic. Probably not very good because one, it's mono white, and and two, it's party mechanic. But so we got a Thieving Skydiver. It's a Merfolk Rogue. I'm excited. 2 mana plus kicker X, where X can't be 0. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, gain control of target artifact with converted mana cost X or less. If that artifact is equipment, attach it to Thieving Skydiver. Really like this card. Pretty stoked about it. Definitely for Commander. Not sure. Maybe in Standard, steal somebody's Embercleave seems pretty good. I don't really know. But I don't know what other equipment there really are that are going to be relevant in Standard. But steal somebody's Batter Skull in Modern seems pretty good, or their sword seems pretty good. I kind of wish it does have flying, but I kind of wish it had flash. But I think that's just asking way too much for this. But it's a pretty awesome card nonetheless. So we got an uncommon Zoff Consumption, 6 mana sorcerer. Each opponent loses 4 and you gain 4. So commander, that seems okay. And then a tap black source on the back. And we got a Soaring Thought Thief, another rogue. It's a 1/3 with flash this time and flying. And as long as the opponent has 8 or more cards in your graveyard, rogues you control get +1/+0. And then whenever 1 or more rogues you control attacks, each opponent mills 2 cards. So it's not 2 mill 2 for each rogue. It says just if you attack with 1, then they mill 2. No matter how many you attack with, it's just mill 2. Still pretty good, especially with the flash being a 2-drop. If you get, turn 1 swamp on your opponent's turn, flash in the Thieves Guild Enforcer, and then on turn 2 you can cast this thing, or on, even on your opponent's turn 2 while you're, because it does have flash. So seems pretty legit. I like it. Marasa Sproutling. And we'll go through these commons. I wish I could do a better job of getting this in focus. I think I just need to get a camera stand here soon, and maybe bring the camera down a little bit closer to the desktop. Right now it's about 18 inches up, and makes it hard because it sees everything in the background. Ooh, a Crawling Baron, foil Crawling Barons. I got a foil rare. All right, so I'm actually, this is a manland I'm pretty excited about. So task for colorless, but then you can use it as a mana sink later. Pay 4, put 2/1/1 counters on it, and then you may have it become a 0/0 elemental creature until end of turn. It's still a land. So this seems pretty good. I like it. I don't know what kind of deck it's going to go in yet. But the ability to add counters to it and not have it become a creature seems pretty good. Maybe some kind of deck, +1/+1 deck, or counters deck with the Ozolith. That way, if it gets destroyed or something like that, at least you got the counters saved up on the Ozolith. So I like that card. Pretty excited. It's also in foil. Ooh, this one's been getting a lot of talk. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild, 5 mana. Green 3 for a legendary creature elemental. It's the mythic. Power toughness is ***. Ashaya, Soul of the Wilds, Power and Toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other type. So if you have a bunch of non-token creatures out, they turn into lands as well as creatures, and Ashaya's Power Toughness goes huge. The only bad thing about this card, and I say bad thing because I could see playing against this. I don't normally play green, but Blood Moon kills Ashaya. So because Power and Toughness is set on the card, when it turns into a mountain, it loses its toughness. Basically becomes 0, and Ashaya dies. So any that goes for any other creature that has Star or XX for its toughness, unless you have some other kind of effects on the battlefield that it entered with a +1/+1 counter or something like that. But overall, still a pretty spicy card. I might have to brew with it, especially now that I got one. So that's pretty cool. And that makes Mythic number 5. So that's pretty cool. And we're about halfway through the box. So I'm not really sure how many Mythics we're going to get, but 5's not too bad so far. Didn't see any alt arts in there. I don't even think we're halfway through the box yet, so that's pretty cool. Got our insect token. I haven't seen that card, the new ooze. Ooh, another foil. This one's one of the flip foils, so I'm pretty interested to see if they foil both sides. Salundi Vision. 3 mana, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant sorcery, put it in your hand, put the rest on the bottom in any order. And sure enough, backside's foil as well. Salundi Isle. That's pretty cool. I like it. And for a rare, Archpriest of Iona, Human Cleric, star 2 for power toughness. Power is equal to the number of creatures in your party at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you have a full party, target creature gains +1/+1 and flying until end of turn. Jawari Disruption, counter target spell unless they pay 1. Grotag Night Runner, and a Skyclave Plunder. Let's see what else we got in here. Nothing too exciting. I'll take that back. Everything in this set's exciting because it's, this is even earlier than it would normally be due to some kind of mistake, so I'm pretty excited. And I do like these full art lands. They're pretty cool. It's crazy. It's got like a lighthouse here and then another lighthouse up here. I guess they're lighthouses. I don't really know. That's what they look like, though. Alright, Skyclave Relic. This is the one I was talking about. So, it's a 3 mana artifact. It's got kicker for 3. It's indestructible. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create 2 tap tokens that are copies of it. And then tap to add 1 mana of any color. So, pay 6 to get basically 3 mana rocks that are indestructible. Seems pretty good. Like I said, in Brutaclad, turn all your tokens into these. Have a lot of indestructible mana that when the time comes, you can turn those tokens into something else at that point. So, seems pretty good. I like it. We'll see. We'll see what kind of play. I'm not sure in standard if it'll see any play, but my concern is more commander anyway. Alright, go through these guys. Ooh, that one looks pretty cool. Spitfire Legacy. 4 mana, 3/4, landfall. Whenever land enters battlefield under your control, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. I like it. I have to put that in. I wish it'd be awesome if it said 1 damage to each creature you don't control. That'd be pretty sweet. It would definitely be going in my Kazarov Singer Pureblood Commander deck. I really like that deck. I'm going to have to revamp it. I have it built. I built that deck before they changed the companion rules. So Obosh is my companion. So it's basically odd card tribal. I'm thinking about revamping it so that I just put Obosh in the 99 and change it up a bit, make it a little easier to get to. 7 mana, because that's how much Kazarov cost. I have got him out turn 2 before. Ooh, that's pretty sweet. Foil Felidar Retreats. 4 mana enchantment with landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, choose one. Create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. They gain vigilance until end of turn. That is a pretty sweet deck. And correct me if I'm wrong, that's in the colors for Ren and Siri. So that seems like a really good card for Commander. Cat Tribal, I think, is kind of a thing in Standard as well. So, ooh, we got a Relic Robber. I like this one too. 3 mana, 2/2 with haste. When it deals combat damage to a player, that player creates a 0/1 colorless Goblin Construct artifact creature token with this creature can't block. And at the beginning of your upkeep, this creature deals 1 damage to you. I like this card a lot. It's red. It's definitely, I think it's going to go in my Zerzoth Chaos Rider deck. Maybe even my Perforos deck. I don't know. It just seems fun. It's just a fun card. The art's pretty good on it. I like it. Overall, awesome card. Oh, that's the foil. That goes over there. We got a Vastwood Fortification. It's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but 1 mana for add a counter to target creature. Not even your creature, just target creature. And then tap land on the back. So, we got Cleric of Life's Bond and a Merfolk Wind Robber. I like this creature too. It's a Merfolk Rogue, 1 mana, 1/1, flying. When it deals combat damage to a player, they mill a card. Sacrifice it, draw a card, activate this ability only if the opponent has 8 or more cards in the graveyard. So it's card draw, it's mill, it's damage, it's evasive. I like it a lot. Let's see, go through these commons. All right. So we've officially passed the halfway mark, and we're a little past it. Didn't really keep track. We got a Hydra token and an island. It's the Whirlpool Island. I like it better than the Cup Island, but still intriguing because it's just water. So, Phylath World Sculptor, 6 mana. When it enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each basic land you control. With landfall, whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, put 4 +1/+1 counters on target plant you control. So you can grow some guys pretty big. This is kind of like the Avenger Zendikar that people are comparing it to, but this one's legendary. It's Gruul. It's a commander. You can still play Avenger in this deck, but it can be the commander, so that's pretty cool. So I don't know. Haven't played any Gruul decks either in Commander. Maybe this will help me change my mind. Not really sure. Kazul's Fury, Goma Fata Vanguard, and a Relic Golem. Definitely got to figure out a better setup for this. My elbows are so far, my arms are so far away from my body, and they're sitting on, sitting on the hardwood of the desk. We got an alternate art, Kazandu Mammoth. It's a 3/3 with landfall. Whenever a land enters battlefield, It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It's 3-drop, and it's also a land on the back. Oh, I like that. That is pretty. It does come in tapped, but I've seen some of the guys on the early release today streaming, and this card seemed to do some damage. Not gonna lie, looks pretty fun. Demon's Disciple. Ooh, an alternate art uncommon. Canyon Jerboa, the fabled first mouse of magic. It's a 1/2 with landfall. Whenever land enters battlefield under your control, creatures you control, all creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So, including itself, not bad. Not the greatest, but not bad. I do like the art. I kind of like the other art better. I'm not gonna lie, but this one's pretty cute too. So that's cool. Relic Amulet, and now our commons rather. Oh, we got a alt art Dreadworm, 5/4 landfall. It gains indestructible till end of turn, and it's 5 mana. All right, we got 14 packs left, including this one. Oh, we got a copy and a Swampy. Coveted Prize, 5 mana for black sorcery. Cost 1 less for your party. Search your library for a card, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. If you have a full party with converted mana, or you may cast a spell with CMC 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. It is a thing that changelings, although are each creature type, you have to have 4 creatures, 1 of each type. So if you have 4 changelings, that's fine, but you do have to have 4 creatures. When this got spoiled, I immediately tweeted Mark Rosewater, and he responded, yeah, you need 4 creatures. Otherwise, this card would be so good. Be a 1 mana demonic tutor that lets you cast a 4-drop for free by having 1 changeling on the battlefield. Yeah, gross. Not going to happen. But I don't know if party's going to be a thing. Maybe once the new Forgotten Realms D&D set comes out, it'll be a little easier. Be better cards for it, more support for it at that as well. But it definitely seems interesting. I did build a mono white party deck, so maybe I'll have to try a mono black one or multicolor. One of these days, maybe I'll make a deck tech for that video, and we'll see what happens. I like some of these new wizards. They look pretty cool. The artwork. There's the one that kind of reminds me of the Green Goblin. He's I don't know if I've seen it yet. I can't even remember the name of that card. All right, this is the last pack of the second third, and then we can get to our box toppers. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully my dog stays outside for a little while and doesn't start barking. I've heard her outside barking a lot. Let's see. Linvala, Shield of Seagate. Blue, white, and a generic for an Angel Wizard 3/3. Flying. Legendary. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you have a full party, choose target non-land permanent and opponent controls. Till your next turn, it can't attack or block or activate its abilities. Sacrifice it, choose hexproof or indestructible. Creatures you control gain that ability until end of turn. So, seems pretty good. I also haven't seen that new ooze that makes insect tokens, or depending on how many lands you have, makes copies of itself. I also saw that today played. I don't remember who. Maybe it was Asian Avenger was playing against, and the guy ended up creating some crazy amount of insects, like 75, 80. It was just ridiculous. Pretty awesome though. We've got the rare land, so that's red on one side and white on the other. Comes in untapped though, so that's pretty cool. Veteran Adventurer, Fireblade Charger, and another Ruined Crab. That's 2 of those guys. Maybe I can get a playset. That'd be pretty cool. Ghastly Gloom Hunter. I also don't remember the rarity of some, like the the one Green Goblin Wizard that I thought about. Another Skyclave Squid, Alt Art. I think that's 2 of those I got. Alright, we're in the last third of the box. We got a Construct and a Forest. Man, that Forest looks pretty awesome. They did a good job with these. Got Base Camp again. This one, though, is foil. Alright. Skyclave Shade. This one is interesting. So it's a black and a generic with kicker that costs black and 2 generic. It cannot block. If it was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it. And it's a 3/1 to start, so that would make it a 5/3. And then it has landfall whenever land enters the battlefield under your control. And it's in your graveyard. If it's your turn, you may cast it from the graveyard this turn. So reminiscent of Bloodcast. Cost a little more as far as kicker, but it only triggers on your turn, and you have to cast it versus just ETBing from the graveyard on landfall. So I don't know, interesting maybe to play this in conjunction with Bloodcast. Maybe there's a deck there that I just don't know about yet. I don't know. Seems interesting for maybe modern. We got a Colony Ambush, Acquisitions Expert, another rogue. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals the number of cards from their hand equal to the number of creatures in your party. You choose one of those cards and they discard it. So kind of cool. I mean, the most cards they will show is 4. Minimum 1 because he himself is a rogue, or she. Actually, it looks like a she in this case. And I mean, they get to pick what they show you, but it hits any card. It's not, non-land or or 3 CMC or less. It could be anything. So sure, they get to choose what it is, but they can't just choose a land so that they don't have to discard. It's any card. So that's pretty cool. I like it, especially in kind of a mill discard deck theme. I like it a lot. So Roiling Regrowth, and on to our commons. Cool. Yeah, I'm not sure who's more excited about. Probably Krim, the Asian Avenger. He's probably more excited about the Rogues, mostly because he plays other formats besides Commander, unlike me. But it may be enough for me to play other formats. That's for sure, because it definitely seems fun. And that's what he started his stream off today. He had the early access, and that's what he started with, was rogue decks, and it looked amazingly fun. It definitely looks like it can compete with Uro ramp. I mean, that I know a lot of people are afraid of it because you're just fueling the fire to get Uros out, but it just looks fun. And like I said, he was competing with that before Zendikar even came out, and he was still handling Uro ramp quite easily, it seemed like. So I'm excited. It definitely may be the archetype that gets me into standard or historic. Man, that mountain looks pretty gorgeous too. Ooh, look at you. All right. Not foil, but alternate art Valakut Exploration. 3 mana enchantment. Landfall. Whenever land enters battlefield under your control, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. At the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled with Valakut Exploration, put them into their owner's graveyard. Then Valakut Exploration deals that much damage to each opponent. So at worst, if you can't cast it, you're going to deal 1 damage to everybody. It is interesting that it says put them into their owner's graveyard, because maybe if you steal the enchantment, I don't know how that works. Interesting. But oh, nope, sorry, I thought that was the flip land. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Saloon Division, and then backside we got a Mind Carver. That's definitely pretty good with the rogues. Gets +1/+0 or +3/+1 instead, as long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. So that seems pretty interesting for a 1-drop. Lull Mage's Familiar, Beast, and it's a mana to work for 3. And then whenever you cast a kick spell, you gain 2 life. 2/4. Alright. I don't know why I flipped it over. It's definitely not a flip land. We got Nakum Hellhound, 1-drop, 0/1, landfall, gets +2/+2 till end of turn. I know people are talking about that, and I can't remember. There's a white card from the original Zendikar. It's basically Step Links, maybe, I think is what it's called. Basically the same thing. It's white. Maybe that's going to be a deck. Seems pretty interesting. We got a foil common, Drana's Silencer. Alright. And then for the rare, we got Maddening Cacophony, 2-drop. Kicker for 4. Each opponent mills 8. If this spell is kicked, instead each opponent mills half their library rounded up. Yes, please. So I like that. Palaka Predation, the backside, Palaka Caverns, Vastwood Surge, and a Sure-Footed Infiltrator. Cool. Getting closer and closer to the box topper. And we got a Crawling Baron. So that's non-foil this time, but that's our second one. Spikefield Hazard. Backside. Ooh, that's pretty. Umara Mystic. And a Lull Mage's Domination. Five packs left. Ooh, I almost stole it. We got a Crag's Plate Bailoff, 7-drop with kicker for 3. It's a 6/6, can't be countered, has hexproof and haste. If it was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. I really like this card. I think it's going to be pretty decent in Animar for EDH. I feel like you can easily get Animar up there pretty easily. And, I mean, even if you cast this for 5 mana, with the kicker for 5 mana, that's a 5 mana 10/10 that can't be countered, has hexproof and haste. Sure, it'd be nice if it had trample, but again, that's a 10/10 for 5 mana that has haste and hexproof and can't be countered is amazing. So I think it's good for Animar. Obviously, maybe not like a CEDH level or super high power Animar. I don't even know if there's a CEDH version of Animar, but I think it's definitely worth a look at putting in Animar for sure. So that's pretty cool. Kabira Takedown, backside land, Kite Sail Cleric, and another base camp. Get to our commons. Alright. Last 4 packs. Let's see if we can get another mythic. I already forgot how many we got. How many mythics we got? 5. We had 4 early. 3 or 4 early, and then dwindled away after that. So we got a cat token. We got a forest. We got a branch loft pathway. Green on one side and white on the other. Pretty cool. I like those lands. Thundering Rebuke, Skyclave Shadowcat, and a Skyclave Pickaxe. Alright, I'll move some of these over. It's getting a little tall and in the way of my arm. I feel like I'm about to knock it over. Alright, we got a Plains and, oh, I was like, what? A foil full art mountain. That's pretty cool. We got a Magmatic Channeler 2-drop, 1/3. As long as there are 4 more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, it gets +3/+1. Then you can tap it to discard a card. Exile the top 2 cards of your library, then choose one of them. You may play that card this turn. I really like this card as well. Some kind of wizard tribal or spellslinger deck should be pretty easy to get those cards in the graveyard. Even wizard tribal for EDH will have a lot of sorcery and instants, and I don't know. Seems pretty good to me. What do you guys think? Balaged Recovery with the land on the back. Concerted Defense and a Shatterskull Minotaur. Ooh, we got a Canopy Bailoff again. Alternate art. Alternate art seems to be relatively rare compared to the Ikoria comic book style art. It seemed like you'd have at least 1, if not 2 of those a pack. So a little more rare, which is fine. Ooh, what's that? Kaza Royal Chaser. There it is. That's the green goblin that's blue and red. But that's what it reminds me of. It's a 2-drop for 1/2, flying and haste. And you can tap it. Next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn costs X less, where X is the number of wizards you control as this ability resolves. So that's pretty cool. I like it. Bain Vale. Oh, and the backside, I think I showed this one already. Core Blade Master and a Spring Mantle Cleric. Then for the uncommon, or I'm sorry, the commons. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I like the name of this card, Utility Knife. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. I mean, it's not the greatest. It's a 1-drop, but I like the picture and I like the card, the flavor of it. I just like it. Hold on a second. I have just the thing. So, pretty good. All right, last pack, everybody. Last pack. Well, last regular pack. We got an Angel Warrior, 4/4 flying. We got a mountain, and we got we got the crab. Cherix the Raging Isle, 4-drop, 0/17. You heard that right. Legendary creature Leviathan Crab, 0/17. Spells your opponent's cast that target it cost 2 more to cast. And then you can pay 3, and it gets +X, -X until end of turn, where X is the number of islands you control. So this is pretty cool. Because let's say you pump it up with whether counters or equipment or whatnot, you can potentially get this thing pretty big. You know, if you have 10 islands and you happen to have what 4 counters on it, or it's buffed by +4 toughness, it'd be at 21. Now all of a sudden you pay 6 mana and it's a 20 power or 24 power, 1 toughness. Especially if you give it like trample. Seems pretty good. I don't know how good it's going to be. I don't know how good Crab Tribal is going to be. I know people are going to try building it. But I feel like maybe a Voltron build's the way to go with this. Don't really know. But we'll see. Mono Blue Voltron. Black Bloom Rogue. 2/3 with Menace. It gets +3/+0 as long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. That seems pretty good. A 5/3 with Menace. Or the backside is the Black Bloom Bog. I think I saw this one already, but I like it, so I'm doing it again. Skyclave Geopede. 3-drop 3/1. Trample Landfall gets +2/+2 until end of turn. And then the last uncommon Lithoform Blight. Channel Land. I'm hype on this card too, especially for Commander. When it's an enchant land aura for 2 mana, black and a generic. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. That's always a bonus. And then enchanted land loses all land types and abilities and has tap to add colorless and tap, pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. This is kind of like land destruction without being land destruction. But you also get to draw a card. Put this on somebody's Cabal Coffers. Put this on somebody's Gaia's Cradle, somebody's Academy Ruins. There's just so many good targets for this. You could put it on your own. Let's say you have some kind of utility land or something that just isn't useful against the decks you're playing. Or let's say somebody's got Blood Moon out and you got mana rock that gives you a black mana. And then you cast this so that you can at least have a second color. With your Arcane Signet in this, should allow you to get double pips or 2 different colored pips, depending on whatever your deck is. I think it's a very good card. I like it. I'm pretty hype on it. And then our commons. Ooh, and a Prowling Felidar. I think we've seen that guy before. 2/3 landfall +1/+1 until end of turn. All right, this is the moment everybody's been waiting for. The box topper. We're gonna open it this way, I think. All right, let me double check. Yeah, we want to open it this way. And dun 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 dun. Wha-bam! Copperline Gorge. It's not a bad card. Definitely not the best card I could have got. That's for sure. But the art's cool. The borders are amazing. I really like these expedition borders. A friend of mine tried to sell me his expedition fetch lands, and honestly, the original expeditions, absolutely hate those borders. I hope I didn't just lose some subscribers for that, or but not a fan of the original expedition borders. These ones are fantastic though. It's hard to see the green on the right hand side, but I like them. Just they're very flavorful, and yeah, I just wish I'd have got a different one. But I guess that's what I get for getting my box early on accident. So, all right, that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think of in the comment section. Give me a vote, a thumbs up, whatever you want to call it. And y'all have a good night. I'll just display these out one more time. The Mythics and the Box Topper. All right, you guys have a good night.